23rd of December for the Slalom Lager League match between Hunslet and Wigan. Wigan have won the toss and are going to play from left to right, so it will be Hunslet to start the game. The Hunslet team today: fullback K, Rod 2, Tate 3, Morrell 4, Rowe 5, Murray 6, King 7, Byron 8, Gray 9, Brown 10, Idle 11, Graham 12 and Hudson 13. Wigan Edwards at fullback, and the referee starts the game with the blind side prop Brown kicking into the Wigan 25. Edwards hands it on to Ferguson. Ferguson running crossfield, right in front of his own post. Kiss waiting for the play of the ball. Case trying to clear his line, dragging his way forward. Kiss moves it out onto Holden. Holden dummying, coming back inside. Get back onto Case. Case running into the hooker. Into hooker, Gray, and put down, still on the 25. Wigan could well kick here. It goes back to Whitfield. Covering back, it's gone behind the defence. Awkward advancing ball. Taken by Rowe. Rowe trying to run it out. Caught in possession by Stevenson. Full-back Kay running out from acting half-back. Kenny follows him. And Stevenson being called out by Carter of Winders. Referee, Mr. Carter of Winders, newly upgraded, says that Stevenson planted one on him, and so it will be round to kick for touch, just inside his own half. 6 or 7 yards in from the touchline, narrow angle, and a good kick from that angle takes place at 10 yards outside the Wigan 25. Gray, the hooker, coming up to start the tap, has Hudson with him. And it's Hudson who takes it to distribute on to Byron. Poetic name for a prop forward, being pushed back, being dragged back by Graham West. Helped by Dunn. A long wild pass goes out onto Brown, and Hunslet gone back a long, long way. The Wigan forwards hungry for work here, go tearing in, pushing Hunslet back. Gray out onto Hudson. Hudson kicks behind the defence. Straight into touch, ball back, so Wigan will have the double advantage. And Hunslet wilted a little bit there under the Wigan defenders, going in like hungry lions, tearing in a pack, playing as a pack, going in hard. First scrum then for Holding to feed, in it goes, shoots straight out the side of the tunnel. Ball's loose, Potter a long one. Kenny holding his pass nicely. Whitfield sees a gap, onto Stevenson going hard and straight. Takes play nearly up to the 25. Gill's come inside. Gill moving it across, holding on to Case. Case on to Dunn. Dunn running in straight. It's snatched out of the air. High tackle and the trouble here. And Brown went in very high there. Took Brian Dunn very high. The referee said, leave it to me to sort out. Brown went in very high into that tackle. Straight kick this for Wigan. 36, 37 yards out. And the referee's having a word with Brian Case, saying that he'll sort it out. It's 35 yards out. And Kiss is also being spoken to as Colin Whitfield prepares to try to put Wigan into an early lead. 4 minutes gone. Sand being brought on for Whitfield to take this penalty. Wigan came away nicely from the scrum there, long pass, and then Kenny held this pass for Whitfield coming in from the far side of the field. Covered across from the scrum, cut through. Stevenson went onto it straight, and from the result of play the ball, Brian Dunn running onto the ball nearly went headless like Anne Boleyn with his head tucked underneath his arm. Straight kick for Whitfield. Lifts it high, and Wigan going to a 2-0 lead after 5 minutes play. Hunslet 0, Wigan 2. Encouraging start for Whitfield, had a good run and made sure with his kick. Brown to restart. Hunslet in the jerseys are called Myrtle, but they look green to me, and that's a good kick. Very good kick indeed from the kick-off. Hard low one, finds touch 10 yards outside the Wigan 25. No Wigan player at fault. It was just an extremely good kick by Brown. Once again it goes in, coming out to Holding, switches it across onto Edwards, who's linked in. Edwards managed to get his passing out to Ferguson, who's gone into the middle, out to Kenny. Kenny making a break, bringing it back inside. Wigan still going strongly. Good run by Stevenson, dragging his way over the halfway line. Good play by the Wigan backs then. It comes out, Holding moving it, turn it back inside to Case. Case switching direction, looking for support. Onto Whitfield. Whitfield going down the middle, and he's bumped. Can he make the line? There's plenty cover. But Wigan are turning the heat on now. Hot on attack as it comes across to Holding. Holding up to West. Wigan not moving on to the ball. And Wigan have lost a lot of ground. Lost a good 15 yards of ground. The ball's played to Kenny. Kenny short one on to Dunn. Dunn going straight. Fifth tackle as Kiss comes over for the play the ball. Kiss hesitating onto Kenny. Kenny hoists a high one, being chased by Ferguson. Fullback Case under it, takes it well, and Ferguson has him right on the try line. Hunslet in a bit of trouble here. Forward slow getting back from that good kick of Kenny's. And now it's Byron. Byron trying to clear the lines, and Kenny has him again. Done a lot of tackling close to the line. Hudson back to Brown. Brown going to hoist it out of danger. It's an awkward bouncing ball, but Edwards is there, managed to keep it in play on the halfway line. He's on his own, a lot of cover there. The forwards go in and bounce him down. Potter behind the play the ball, going through on his own, taking him on, giving his team time to regroup. Now it's Hunslet who are coming in hard. Kiss trying to make a break from acting half-back. Managed to get it out onto Holding. Holding dancing his way, taken by Brown and Gray. Whitfield, West slipped a nice one there. Kiss got, referee says no. I think he's going to say it's forward. Pass went forward, and he's giving it as an offside. Must have adjudged that Wigan were in front of the ball at the moment that it was passed. A bit of a let-off for Hunslet. Brown once more to kick for touchdown. The Wigan left wing makes absolutely sure of it. Brings it to 12 yards outside his own 25. King taking the tap. Short one forward to come ploughing the way forward. King again, the scrum half. Moving across. Hudson, a long wide ball out. She has difficulty in taking. Wigan moving up quickly. Murray did well to take that one, and now it's been run out by Graham. Graham trying to go through. Case is across with Dunn into the tackle. As a scrum half makes a lovely dart, came through very well. Did King then very quickly away. Good play the ball, moving it out onto Brown. Brown running wide, switches nicely inside. Holden's in there to complete the tackle, and that's the fifth tackle. As King comes over to act in half-back, lobs it back to Brown. Brown hoists a high one to Edwards. Hunslet are well underneath this. Edwards takes it at the second attempt. Lost the ball, it should be... Oh, that was almost a try. And they're back to one, and Wigan in desperate trouble. And they're over. Row is over. After Edwards had made a mess of the ball from a high kick, Hunslet followed up quickly and well. Got possession, and from the play the ball, Rowe plunged over to make it now Hunslet 4, Wigan 2. Mistake by Edwards underneath the high ball. Missed it at the first effort, missed the second bite of the cherry as well. So 9 minutes gone. Hunslet 4, Wigan 2, and an easy kick for Brown. After all the pressure that Wigan have put on, Hunslet suddenly sweep down the field and go into the lead. And that's a good kick by Brown, making it Hunslet 6, Wigan 2. Been well set up in the middle originally by the Hunslet scrum half. King made a lovely dart down the middle, caused a bit of panic in the Wigan ranks. Whitfield to restart the game. Along the deck, covered by Hudson. Hudson cutting in field, Has support, decides he's going to try and clear his lines, wrapped up by Courtney. Gray moving it inside. Byron trying to bring the ball away from his own 25. King acting half back, lobs it back onto Brown. Brown behind the defence. Gill having to go back for it. Oh, that was a good kick, but Gill managed to keep it in play in his own 25. Hands off one, coming inside, but both half backs are up there. Murray and King are there to take him. Potter back behind to play the ball, dragging a couple of yards forward while Wigan resort the team out. Comes out to Holden, holding it, turning inside. West knocked down off the ball, looking a bit shaken. Lobbed back onto Whitfield. This is covered by Rowe. Rowe coming back into his own 25. Takes it cleanly. Has Kay with him, the full-back. Decides he's going to go on his own, and he's well tackled by David Stevenson. Kay running crossfield, being chased again by Stevenson and Case. And they bury him. Bit of niddle going on between King and Stevenson. Here's King getting it out nicely onto Graham. Graham being held by Kenny. And Stevenson in. Wigan like bees round the jam pot there in that tackle. As King gets it out. And that referee says it's gone back because there was a missed pass. King moving it out onto Hudson. Hudson bringing it back inside. Courtney's in hard into the tackle. King, the acting half-back. Throws it back onto Kay. Kay going to kick. Deep into the Wigan 25. Ferguson taking it, being chased by Rowe. Ferguson going midfield. He's not gaining a lot of ground, giving his team time to get back because Edwards goes to acting half-back. Runs a good 5 yards before he's down. Holding behind the play the ball onto Potter. Potter ploughing his way forward. Wigan finding it hard to break this Hunslet defence, and Wigan going to get a penalty. Referee's tight this season on players getting off the tackle player. Referee said he was held, he should have got off him, and so Whitfield will kick for touch down the Hunslet right wing. Finds it just short of the halfway line. Kiss. Fluid game, entertaining footballs. It comes on to Courtney. Courtney puts his shoulder in, drags the forwards with him. War of attrition among the forwards at the moment. They do a switch onto Kenny. Kenny holding it, dumbing it, trying to go through. Managed to get it onto Gill. Gill bounces back, and India rubber man still going, dummying to go through on his own, but there's plenty of cover there to stop his move. Comes to Case. Case a short one onto Dunn. Dunn trying to go through to turn it back. His arms are smothered, are locked, and he can't get rid of it. Hunslet lined up. The referee only taking them the 5 yards back as Holding tries to make a break out. Beautifully to Potter. As Kenny with him, dummies on his own. Up to Kenny. Kenny's over under the post. Lovely play by the Wigan half-backs and loose forward. Ball very nicely slipped by Holden to Potter. Potter ran well. Showed a very nice dummy, and Kenny following up levels the scores at 6 points each. With a kick for Whitfield right underneath the post. 14 minutes gone. That was a good break by Holden to set that try up. Well, we're seeing some good football in these opening 15 minutes. Very appreciative applause from the crowd as Whitfield sets it up exactly on the 10-yard line, on the dotted 10-yard line. And that puts Wigan in the lead by 8 points to 6. In a game that's ebbing and flowing, end to end, entertaining football. Hard football, both sides tackling well and determinedly. And Brown comes back up to the centre to kick out towards the Wigan right wing. His last kick was an extremely good one, found touch with it. Kicked off very intelligently. That's straight to Ferguson, down his throat. Ferguson, powerful runner when he gets into top gear. Taking a lot of stopping as Hunslet are finding as he clears his 25 line. Out to Holding on to Case. Case running straight at them, back inside to Dunn, backing up well. Wigan wanted to get on with it quickly as Case moved it out to Holding. Holding dummying, coming back inside. Caught just short of the halfway line. Case to Case. Case hands it on to Kenny. Kenny dummying, trying to come through. Lovely out onto Edwards. Edwards going inside. Gets it back onto Stevenson. Team won't be lucky if he can keep that. He did well to hang on to that, but Wigan's showing a lot of class here as it goes out to Potter. Potter short one to Dunn. Dunn a long one out to Gill. Can he make the line? Cover goes across. Gill going hard. And he's in touch 5 yards short of the line. He got over, but foot has gone in. And that was good football. That was good, entertaining, exciting football. Beautiful long pass out to Gill. Went determinedly. Cover came across well. Just managed to make him put his foot into touch. And so it will be King to feed the scrum. Wigan have won one against Head. Quickly out onto Kenny. Kenny turning and twisting. Can't get rid of the ball. His arms are locked. Potter's come over. Potter out to Holding. To Whitfield. Whitfield jumping with it. Can't get through. Good tackle by Tate. Edwards out to Holding. Holding. A long pass out to Kiss. Kiss going for the line. Manages and he's thrown it away. Trying to get the ball out. In his eagerness to get the ball out, he's given it to Hunslet. Hunslet 15 yards out. Here come the forwards. Powering the way in and met by an equally determined Wigan forward. Kiss went in hard into the tackle. King, very short pass there onto Graham. Graham coming hard onto it. Gets outside his 25. Gray come to act in half-back. Onto Hudson. Hudson coming back inside. And Potter's up there very quickly to tackle Idle. King behind the play the ball. Gets it out onto Brown. A little grubber kick it here. Taken by Hunslet. Referee plays the advantage as Murray gets the ball. Tackled on the halfway line. The fifth tackle as King comes up out to Hudson. Hudson coming strongly, looking to turn it inside. Gets it back out onto Byron. Byron and Hunslet smothered. That's the sixth tackle. They're going to have to give the ball to Wigan. Played back to Holding. Holding on to West. Not seen a lot of Graham West yet this afternoon. And he has to go down on the halfway line. Kiss out to Holding. Holding prompting Wigan into it. Brian Dunn trying to come hard and straight on it. Knocked down to the ground in fierce tackling. Holding. Onto Kenny. Kenny short one onto Courtney. Courtney being smothered on the halfway line. And Hunslet coming in very strongly and with a lot of fire and fervour as Potter trying to sidestep his way through. Shuffle step there. Doesn't get very far. Comes to Holding. Holding onto Case. Case coming straight, trying to break his way through. Back onto Holding. Holding coming down the middle onto Case. Case managed to get it out onto Kenny. Kenny's pass has been knocked back to Edwards. Edwards takes it cleanly. Managed to get it onto Ferguson. Ferguson powering down the wing. There's plenty covered. He cuts inside. Still going. Great run by Ferguson. Back towards Wigan on the 25 line as Kenny moves it on to Holding. Holding to Kiss. Kiss to Potter. Potter being smothered as Brown came in very quickly and the referee says he was offside. And somebody's opened the mouth. Very foolish thing to do. So Wigan get one 10 yards nearer to the line, and that makes Colin Whitfield's task an awful lot easier. 19 minutes gone, almost halfway through this first half. Wigan 8, Hunslet 6. And there's a lot of menace on these Wigan wings this afternoon. About 10 yards to the right of the post. 20 yards out. And he's got his kicking boots on today. 10 points to 6. Another goal to Colin Whitfield. Peter Brown, the blindside prop, kicking off. In what is proving to be a very hard tussle. There's no quarter being asked for. Again, another awkward one to West. Inside onto Dunn. Dunn coming straight, running into the forward, trying to drag his way through. Proving a bit of a handful. Onto Case. Now Case is going to do the bullocking, barging stuff. Brian Dunn looking shaken in that last tattle. Comes on to Courtney. Courtney running into them. Forced down by Brown. Gets behind the play the ball to Holding. Holding to Potter doing a run around onto West. West has made the break. Lovely on to Kenny. Kenny looking for support. He has Edwards with him, but he's not able to get rid of the ball as Wigan surge up to the 25 line, and it goes out to Potter. Potter, one-handed pass, goes astray, trying to pass it round the back of a player. It didn't come off. It would have been grave danger if he could have got that out to kill, but Wigan swept down the field again there with good handling and good running, taking it into the Hunslet 25. King to feed the scrum, and Gray with a loose head, and it shoots out to King. Holding follows him, hangs on to him. Murray gone to acting half-back. Murray running it out from acting half-back, just pushed down to the ground by Holding. Hudson stepping back into the Wigan forwards. Just manages to get outside his 25. Hunslet trying to bring the ball away, and they're having a job putting Graham down. One hanging on to him down below, and then Case has to come in upstairs to put him down. Gray moves it across. Byron coming back inside. Wigan going to get penalised. Having a word with Graham West. Said he used his elbow in. Bring the holy water on. Graham West went in very hard into that tackle and was penalised for it. Referee signalling that it was a forearm that went in. Brown, good chance here to bring Hunslet away from their own 25, would have been struggling for a bit, and that's a good kick. Very good kick indeed, brings it 10 yards inside the Wigan half. King comes over to restart the game. Hudson on his right, and it's Hudson who gets it. Hudson on to Byron, who's none the worse. Managed to turn it back inside, gets it back onto his scrum half, and kisses in there to put King down. Gray waiting for the play, the ball, decides he's going to go on his own. There's a gap, he nearly threw it, gets it out, King can't take it. Edwards going back, the referee probably played the advantage as Edwards starts to run it out, bringing the ball away, coming up the 25. Good strong run by Sean Edwards, clears his own 25. Stevenson acting half-back, onto Courtney. Courtney going to drive in, doesn't get very far. Picked up and bounced down by Brown. Case out to Holding. Holding onto Case. Case running straight, knocks off one. Still trying to get rid of the ball. It's taken 3 players to down him. Kiss to Potter. Potter holding it. Potter trying to drive through. Idle hangs first in there and hangs on to him. Make sure he dies with the ball. Lobbed back onto Whitfield. Whitfield kicks behind the fullback. He takes it well on his own 25. Facing his own try line. Running it out. Holding goes in. Takes him low. Helped by Stevenson. So Hunslet have been pushed back. Now the acting mark came in very strongly. Good handoff. Shoved Holding out the way. Good run by Rowe. King moving it across. Up to Graham. Graham being put down by Brian Dunn. Byron gone to acting half-back. Moves it out onto Hudson. Hudson a long pass. Murray coming inside. A good low tackle by Graham West. He went low and hard round the hips. And it's Byron again coming, driving in hard. Stopped just on the halfway line in the 5th tackle. Lobbed across onto Brown. Brown trying to get his kick in, and he gets it into touch. Grubber kick. Bit of disarray in the Hunslet line now, but Brown did very well when it eventually got to him to make sure that he got the ball into touch, and they weren't caught on the 5th tackle. However, it should be Wigan with a double advantage and should get the ball out as they go down right on the halfway line. The referee sending him out to the 10-yard mark as Holding puts it in, and he's penalised for not putting it in correctly. Penalty to Hunslet for incorrect feeding. 25 minutes gone. Hunslet 6, Wigan 10. Brown prepares to put it into touch. Down the Wigan left wing. 10 yards in from the touchline. Finds it 10 yards outside the Wigan 25 line. Hunslet now on the Wigan 25. Wigan moving in quickly as the Byron tries to bash his way through the Wigan defence. Doesn't succeed. Change. Hudson switches it nicely onto Kay. He can't take it cleanly. Ball's gone loose and Gill has it. The referee's given the knock on. Wigan crowd don't like that one. They think should have given the advantage, but I've probably already blown. Holding, put the ball in when they meet, and a penalty to Wigan for feet up. Hunslet took a grey, penalised for feet up in the scrum. Whitfield makes absolutely sure, touch judge marks to make the mark, few yards inside the Hunslet half. Kiss coming up, Courtney going to plough at them, managed to get it out. Potter back inside, the ball's gone astray. Graham West goes down on it. Long way for him to bend with his height. With a loose play there by Wigan, comes out to Holden. Holden on to Dunn. Dunn running into both the half-backs. Out by Hudson, the loose forward. Case coming straight. Made his break. Looking for support. Holden can't take it. And that will be a knock-on. Case went through well, tried to get it out to hold him, but he couldn't take it. King to feed the scrum. Gets it out onto his standoff, who comes inside. Upended by Kenny. King moves it out onto Hudson. Hudson sidestepping inside. Has to die with the ball as Wigan make sure he doesn't get it out. Forwards coming in hard. Hunslet putting in a lot of effort as Hudson sends a long one out to Brown. Brown running straight, caught. The ball's been knocked down by West. Wigan get it, it will be a knock on. They're struggling for the ball on the ground. Referee says it's Hunslet and we're back to one. Idle coming through from the play of the ball. Well tackled by Courtney. Didn't get very far at all. King waiting for the play of the ball. Wigan penalised for offside. Graham's up there wanting it quickly. Wigan up too quickly, lying up and moving in very quickly, and the referee said they were infringing the laws. Brown's going to put it into touch. Not spent much time in the Wigan 25, but they're up there now, 20 yards out from the Wigan line, as Gray comes over to start with a tap. Brown going to come on it, goes driving in hard. Courtney waits for him and then tries to drag him back. Gray again behind the play of the ball. Hudson looks as if he's waiting for it first pass. The scrum half is up there as well. Hooker trying to dive over from the play of the ball, and there seemed a bit of a gap in the Wigan defence there. He was nearly through. King gets it out to Hudson. Hudson does a black flip onto Brown. Brown trying to get it overhead. Ball was all over the place then. Off they went, row, a long one inside onto Graham. Graham holding it. Ball's gone loose, and Wigan dive on it. Brian done in very quickly to get that loose ball. Potter will have to clear his lines, and sure enough, drags his way up to the 25 line. Kiss waiting for the play of the ball. First man is Holding. Holding, long one to Kenny. Kenny, a long overhead pass to Gill. Gill having to come inside. There's plenty of cover. And the referee says we're back to one as it comes to Case. Case turning it inside onto Graham West. Striding through majestically. Gill tasked without the ball. Referee lets play carry on as it's been intercepted. But Gill was tackled off the ball there. And Humpton have got away with it. And Wigan penalised. And the referee's gone a long, long way back. For somebody opening the mouth, and that's a big 10 yards he's gone. Well, as Wigan broke through there was no danger they were holding Gill back. You probably hear the boos of the crowd. A Wigan player obviously knows it, and I don't know what his comment would have been. Might not have been in very parliamentary language, and Mr. Carter ran back a good 15 yards. to give Brown an opportunity, a long kick, a straight kick. 10 yards inside the Wigan half. 30 minutes gone. Wigan 6, Hunslet 6, Wigan 10. As Brown prepares to take this kick. Brown lifts it high and wide and dead. Drop out from the Wigan 25. Whitfield tries a deep one. Kay has it covered in his own 25, running it out. Ran behind his own player, got away with it. As Potter goes in with Kays to dump him. Kay plays the ball. Forwards coming in hard. Idle trying. Kiss is taking the ball, he's going to get penalised for it. Kiss took the ball off Idle. They did seem to be in the tattle, and Wigan chatting away instead of watching the game. As Brown gets away, Wigan caught. Kenny chasing his man, can't take it. Gill coming across, and it's going to be a try under the post. Well, that was very unprofessional play by Wigan, and quick-witted thinking by Hunslet. When the penalty was given, Wigan were chatting away among themselves after the injustice of the penalty was taken quickly, and Hunslet have levelled the scores. Wigan really caught napping there. And Hunslet surged down the field. Every man on the team was following that ball, and that was a good try by Hunslet. This could well put them in the lead. 32 minutes gone, Wigan 10, Hunslet 10. Brown with a kick, just slightly to the left of the post. Wigan players were ambling back into position, talking to each other, and suddenly the penalty was taken, and it's there to put Hunslet into the lead. And Wigan are not having this all their own way. Although Hunslet are rather low down in the league, very lowly position. They gave Widnes a fright that last week, and now Wigan are having to struggle against them. Whitfield. Along the ground. Murray with the ball. Wigan moved up into the 25. Kiss into the tattle with Potter. As King comes up to act in half-back. To Hudson. Hudson sidestepping back inside. Wigan forwards dump him. Potter into the tattle again with Kiss. That's Gray, turns it out. Prop forward trying to crash his way through Byron. Hudson moving it across the line. And Wigan in hard. Pushing them back, taking them over the 25 line. He's not going down, he's showing great strength. King lobs it back to Brown. This is covered by Ferguson. Bounces up into his hand. He has Edwards with him. Probably going to make a charge on his own. And he's well tackled by Hunslet. Low and hard, taken by Idle. Edwards going through from acting half-back. Managed to get his pass onto Whitfield. Whitfield can't get through as he was running across the field. Kenny gone to acting half-back. Kenny short one to Case. Case turning it back inside onto West. West dragging his way forward, held by 3 Hunslet players. Hunslet defending stoutly and determinedly. Lying up close, coming in fast as it goes to Holding. Holding, dumbing with it, thrown a wild pass, it's gone astray. And it's Morel who falls on that. That was a bad pass by Holding. And Holding trying to make amends for it, going in hard into the tattle. As King comes up to act in half-back. Onto Hudson. Hudson sidestepping, trying to duck on the man to get his pass in. Onto King. Kiss is taking it, he's got away with it this time. Onto Dom. Dom turning and twisting, gets it out onto West. West can't get rid of the ball. And he gets it up to Edwards, backing up beautifully. Oh, that was fantastic backing up by Edwards. and he was really motoring. And now Graham West managed to get that ball to him, but his arms were locked, I'll never know. But Edward was coming through down the middle like an express train. Really followed West up very well there to put Wigan back into the lead. Pulsating football, exciting football. 35 minutes gone. Hunslet 12, Wigan 14. West with a kick right in front of the post. Sean Edwards was really shifting when he came onto that pass from West. And there looks to have been no way that West could have got rid of that ball. Must have great strength in his forearms. Whitfield, and that was set up by Kiss stealing the ball. He'd been penalised a short while ago, but for the second time then he did it very, very cleanly. Set Wigan up hot on the attack. And that stretches Wigan's lead by another 2 points to 16 points to 12. 4 points in front, just a try in it. Peter Brown, number 10, blindside prop. Switch of direction. Bounces nicely for Gill on his 25 line. There's a lot of cover there to put him down. Sudden switch and taking left-footed that kick. Potter gaining the yards of ground, getting away from his 25, and it comes to Holden. Holden on to Case. Case runs in straight, runs into two forwards, and they bury him. Kiss going on his own. Gains 5 yards of ground, wanting a quick play. Holding, long pass on to Kenny. Kenny on to West. West nearly through. Lobs it back. Kenny managed to get to them. He's knocked on. Ferguson takes it, but it's a knock on. Graham West doesn't seem to be too happy about it, but there was no doubt it was a knock on. King to feed the scrum. Referee keeping them apart. King puts it in. Sharp to set a Wigan against the head. Kenny trying to make a break. Followed and put down. Edwards up there, backing up as ever. Going through on his own. Managed to get his pass into Potter. Potter knocks it back on Kenny, keeping it moving. He looks red hot, that ball. As it comes to Stevenson, Stevenson decides he's going down the middle. Can he beat the full-back? He's past the full-back. It's a great chase to the line. A tremendous run by. A great run by Stevenson. Brings it to 2 yards from the line. And a penalty to Wigan for offside. Well, that was a great centre run by Stevenson. I think Whitfield wants to kick the goal. Kiss wants to take a penalty. And there's a Hunslet player out in his own in-goal area. He could well kick the ball back towards his own line into touch to try and get a little more room in which to manoeuvre. He looks as if he's not setting up for a goal kick. And that's what Whitfield has decided to do. He wants it 10 yards from the line. Give Wigan a little more room to manoeuvre. As Kiss comes up, the forwards are wanting to come on it. Case goes driving in hard, trying to shift them. Goes down under the forwards. Kiss out to Holden. Holding on to Courtney. Courtney holding it on to West. West trying to drive his way through. And this time they're hanging on to his arms. Kiss out to Holden. Holding on. Courtney knocks off one, back to Holden. Kenny's pass has gone astray. Little bit of misunderstanding between the Wigan players then. Let Hunslet off the hook now. They're bringing the ball away out from their own 25. We're almost on time as Hunslet Acting half-back makes a good darting run from the acting half-back position. That to Hudson. Hudson moves it across. Brown's dropped it. Wigan fall on it, and the referee says they've knocked on. Not signalled yet who's put in it. I think it's going to be Hunslet put in. And the ball is Hunslet's side. Byron having a bit of trouble getting, the referee's broken them up, sending them further over towards the centre of the field. It's out to Wigan quickly to Kenny, a lob pass. Kenny pass has gone astray onto Edwards. Edwards trying to dance his way through. Gets it well out onto Whitfield. Whitfield a short one to Kenny. Kenny foot. Can he make the line? Let him go. And he's in. Good in finishing. Tremendous wing power by Ferguson. Kenny moved the ball nicely out to him, but Ferguson went like a bolt out of hell to get in 5 yards from the corner to make it now Wigan 20, Hunslet 12, right on the stroke of half time. Tremendous finishing power by Ferguson. Like a bat out of hell, he went for the corner then. Long kick for Whitfield. He's kicked very well this afternoon. This has been his hardest kick to date. Teed up very high on the sand. And it looks a beautiful effort. Just wide. Good effort that by Whitfield, and there goes the hooter for half-time. The end of an extremely entertaining and exciting first half. The score, Hunslet 12, Wigan 20. The next 40 minutes are as good as the last 40. We're in for a real treat. Coming out for the second half of this game, Wigan leading by 20 points to 12 and playing from right to left. Colin Whitfield to kick off. Very bright lights here on this soccer ground as Colin Whitfield comes up to give Wigan Christmas presents if they can get these 2 points. Hunslet coming up to the 25 line, running strongly. Case in to put Murray down. Murray plays the ball, Gray turns it inside. Forwards keeping it tight. Gets it in there, battling for the ball. Gray moving it across. Hudson hands it on to Graham. Graham manages to get outside his own 25. King gone behind to play the ball. King moves it across onto Hudson. Hudson turning it back inside. Wigan trying to push them back to the 25 line. Kick coming up, I feel. Wigan wingmen are not back, and here it comes. Brown puts a little overhead kick here. Bouncing for Edwards, does well to take it. Smothered as he takes it. Murray puts him down. Gill gone inside. Gill having to go on his own, proving a difficult handful as he takes play into the Hunslet half. Good strong running that by Gill. Comes to Courtney. Courtney taking them on, puts his shoulder in, has to die as Brown goes in to tackle him. Case out to Holding. Holding to Case. Case turning it back inside onto Dunn. Dunn making a break onto Kenny. Kenny still looking for support. Nobody could get with him. Comes out. Holding up to Potter. Potter holding it. Long one out to West. West going down the middle. And his pass has been knocked down and he gets it back. The referee says it's a knock on. Oh dear. Case puts a restraining hand on Graham West. Graham West not happy with that decision. King comes round, puts the ball into the pack. Pack's wheeling. And it's all over the place, and it's Holding who's won it. Ball was kicked all over the place. Potter out onto Edward. Edward sees a gap onto Whitfield. Whitfield going inside, proving elusive. Wigan now on the attack as it goes out to... No, Kiss decides he's going to go on his own. His arms are locked and he's being pushed back. Strong play by Tate. Whitfield to Holden. Holden to Courtney. Courtney turning. Not a very good pass has gone astray. Case gets up again. Loose play by Wigan. A little bit indecisive. Kiss out to Holden. Lob pass, slow pass. Kenny having told it, see the gap. Ready to go for the line. He's got support inside. Going on his own. A good try. A good individual try by Kenny. Used players on his right and on his left as a foil. Showed the ball to both sides. Ran with determination to give Wigan an excellent start to the second half. Making it now Hunslet 12, Wigan 24. Long kick this for Whitfield. Just 5 minutes of the second half gone. Whitfield with setting up the sand. A yard in from the touchline. Went well for the corner. Kenny then. Big difference to the Wigan back line since we got Kenny at stand-off half. May not yet be completely match fit, but he's still a danger. Class football written all over him. Lifted it high, a great roll from the crowd, a beautiful kick. A superb kick by Whitfield from a yard in from the touchline to make it Hunslet 12, Wigan 26. Well, that's making life very difficult for Hunslet. 14 points behind, 3 scores needed as Brown comes up. Graham West trapped it soccer style. Don trying to drag his way through the back defence, doesn't get very far. Owen, Wigan dropped the ball. Courtney couldn't take it cleanly, so we scrum down just outside the Wigan 25. King to feed the scrum. It's all over the place. And Wigan have won another. No, they looked as if they had it, but King won the ball round the side of the scrum. He fought well for that one. Comes out to Brown. Brown coming back inside. Gets away from Potter. Strong running by Brown. Sean Edwards hangs on to him desperately. King going through from acting half-back. Managed to get it on to Graham. Graham being smothered by Potter and Kenny. King waiting behind to play the ball. Graham plays it to himself, ploughs his way forward to within 3 yards of the Wigan line. Hodgson up behind to play the ball, doing a switch onto Byron. Byron goes crashing in. Wigan having to defend desperately as Hunslet go charging up the line. Hodgson switches direction onto King. King turns it inside. Brown hoists a high one in the Wigan in-goal area. Edwards takes it beautifully but caught in his own in-goal area. Took it well and bravely. As Hunslet went powering in there, they were all underneath it. There'll be a drop out from underneath the post, Wigan post. Whitfield. To his opposite number K on the halfway line. Cutting into midfield. But to run into trouble. He runs into Dunn. Kiss has taken the ball off him. And he nearly had his head knocked off by, and it's a penalty to Wigan for Gray hanging on. But Brown nearly took his head off then. Didn't connect. Must be very strong in the arm, Kiss, the way he managed to steal the ball. Whitfield makes absolutely sure of touch, just inside the Hunslet half. Kiss has Courtney and West with him. It's Courtney who takes it. Decides he's going to dive with the ball. Holding first pass. Hands it on to Kenny. Kenny doing a switch. Short pass on to Ferguson. Lovely break by Ferguson. Still going. Terrible strength and determination. He gets over the 25 line. Nice play there between Kenny and Ferguson. Comes out, Kenny hands it on. Holding, on to Case. Case on to West. West straightening up, trying to go down the middle. Dragging them with him, still powering his way forward. 20 yards out, right in front of the post. Case out to Potter. Potter holding it. Pass has gone astray, been knocked on. Referee was very good, quick to see that, as Tate couldn't take that cleanly. Didn't travel very far forward. He spotted it. Referee bringing on the substitute, I think. I can't see from his number yet, so I can't tell who's gone off. The referee's having a word with him, no. It was number 5 row. Referee called him over and had a word of caution. Holding, puts the ball in. He's penalised immediately for not putting it in correctly. All the advantage of that surging attack lost, thrown away with incorrect feeding. Brown will kick for touch down the Wigan left wing. 10 minutes of the second half gone. That's not going to find it. Well taken by Gill. Gill powering in there, knocks off one, still going. What a great run by Gill. Dummies his way through, gets it out onto Holding. Holding goes for the line. Beautiful side step. Tremendous try. Well, that was well set up by Gill. And then Holding cut through beautifully. Well, this is fantastic football. It's not just that Wigan are scoring, but they're scoring in a magnificent manner. That was a lovely try by Holding. Hunslet 12, Wigan 30. And Gill was jet propelled there when he went into the middle and slipped it beautifully to Holding. He still had work to do. Beautiful sidestep, and then swiftly streaked through to the ground underneath the sticks, making this an easy one for Whitfield. One on the touchline and now one underneath the post. And Hunslet seem to be wilting in this second half. They've only been playing 11 minutes and Wigan piling the points on. And it's there, 32. So Wigan a good 20 points lead here, with half an hour of this game still to go, and Wigan right on top. Brown tries a short one along the floor to Graham West, puts it inside onto Dunn. Dunn striding forward, smothered under the defence. Now Casey's going to take them on, coming in strongly. Takes 3 men nearly every time to down him. To Holding. Holding to Potter. Potter trying to come through, can't get rid of it. That's good tackling by Hunslet. Murray went in well with Brown. Now it's Courtney's turn, and Courtney comes running straight at them. Managed to slip the ball onto Kiss. Kiss being swung round, can't get away. Gale gone to act in half back. Sadie's going to go on his own, but he's well taken by King. He's still struggling. Managed to slip it onto Case. Case onto Dunn. His pass has been knocked down. Back to Case. Case going like a centre. Onto Graham West. West back down the middle. Onto Case. This ball looks as if it's red hot as we can keep it moving. Stevenson being smothered. Eventually can't get rid of it. And that's the 5th tackle. But Wigan flirting this ball out as it goes to Ferguson. Ferguson onto Whitfield. Whitfield kicked. Trapped by Kay. Crossing his 25 line. Bags the defence up there. And that's a good tackle. Potter well up there into the tackle, and Potter's in again. Drags the big prop Brown down, pulls him down to the ground. Brown plays it, struggling hard, putting a lot of effort into it. Hunslet have not yielded, have not given up the ghost, still trying hard as King moves it out. Graham turning it back inside, managed to get his pass in. Hunslet attacking, trying to run at Wigan. King going through from acting half-back, turns it inside. Hunslet coming strongly, backing up well. Wigan not putting the men down at the moment as Idle comes through, and eventually Courtney puts him down in the 5th tackle. Hunslet still giving it all they've got as it comes to Brown. Brown lifts it high in the air, shallow one. Edwards coming up for it, ball's loose, and it's Kenny who takes it. Kiss behind the play, the ball going through on his own. Skull dragged by the scruff of the neck by Tate. Tate hangs on to him. Holding onto Potter. Potter running hard and straight, running in a penalty going to be given. Tate, tallest man on the field, extremely tall player. Referee warning him, having put one in on Potter as he came through. Whitfield puts it into touch, 10 yards inside the Hunslet half. Kiss with the tap to Courtney. Courtney back onto Kiss. Kiss to Case. Case straightening up, coming back in, runs into Case, couldn't get away from him. He's still on his feet, proving very difficult to put down. Kiss moves it to Holding. Holding to Kenny. Kenny doing the run around. Gets out of one tackle but can't get rid of the ball. Ferguson coming through from Acton half back. There's a gap and he's through it. Can he make it? The cover's there. Gives the support and Edwards can't play the ball. Well, he's really setting the terraces alight. It's Ferguson. Edwards down. I don't know whether it's Chagrin and not taking the pass. The line was wide open. If he could have taken it, he'd backed up well, was in the right place at the right time, and just couldn't keep hold of the ball. King to feed the scrum. And it goes. Backs all over the place as King breaks away quickly round the blind side. Lovely break by King. Being chased by Edwards and Whitfield. Whitfield has the legs on him, and Whitfield who gets him. But that was a lovely break by King. Tate gets it out onto Rowe. Rowe going for the line. And the Wigan cover tried, the ball's been lost. And Wigan have it. Well, that was a lovely break by Hunslet. Wigan covered well, and now they're clearing the lines as Potter brings it away. Well, Whitfield showed his speed there in defence for Wigan and saved the day. Case now bringing it away. Still on his feet. Case to Holden. And a penalty. Or is it a knock-on? The referee's given a knock-on. Well, the game sagged suddenly, and all the excitement. Now, a great break by Hunslet. And the substitute coming on. Morrell being brought off, and Bateman being brought on. And Graham is being brought out of the pack and put at left centre. And presumably Bateman will go into the pack in the second row in his place. He's a big lad, well built, very solid. Goes in to pack down with Idle in the second row. King puts it in, out quickly to King, making a break again round the blind side. Switch back inside. Hudson switching it onto Brown. Brown turning back in the middle, gets it back onto Hudson. Hudson out to Gray, the hooker. Brian Dunn is in there to tattle. Hudson gone to acting half-back. No, he's been pushed out of the way by King. King to Byron. Byron moves it across onto Murray. Murray, oh, that was nearly intercepted. As Stevenson came in like lightning to take man and ball. Shut Graham then. Byron dragging his way over the Wigan 25. Big strong prop forward. Now it's Bateman having a run. First touch of the ball, came onto it strongly in the fifth tattle. Hudson hoisted again. Could well be going dead. Yes, over the dead ball line, straight over the dead ball line. Watched well there by Kenny and by Edwards. Gets coming up to the 25 line. Takes the tap onto Case. Case 10 yards before he meets opposition. Lobs it back onto Holding. Turned back inside onto Potter. Wigan going round in decreasing circles at the moment. Bit disorganised. To Dunn. Dunn running a bit wide. Easy target for Byron to tattle him. Kiss out to Courtney. Courtney running out to the touchline, lobs it inside onto Kenny. Kenny dummying, made the break, gets his pass onto Stevenson. Stevenson taken from behind on the halfway line, wanted to get on with it. And they're offside at the play of the ball. Kiss had no option but to run the ball out. There's a Hunslet player lying in between Graham, and he grabbed his leg. So Whitfield almost on the halfway line. Finds touch just outside the 25. Good attacking position for Wigan. Exactly halfway through the second half. Hunslet 12, Wigan 32. As Wigan come up to restart with this tap penalty. To Holden. Holden to Courtney. Courtney running at them, putting his shoulder in, gets up to the 25 line. Referee rushing over to see if there's anything going on. As Kiss does a quick switch onto West. West still going hard, dragging away, looking to get rid of the ball, but all Wigan can do is fall on it. There's a low pass on the deck. Ferguson holding it, trying to go through on his own, carrying them on his back, taking 3 of them to stop him. Very powerful for such a slight man. Switch of direction as Courtney tries to bash it. He's let the ball go and it's loose, and the referee's going to give the knock on. Wigan taking risks, flirting the ball about at times when it just isn't quite off. 5 yards out then from the Hunslet line. King to put the ball into the pack. And it comes out Hunslet side. Pack breaks quickly. Graham West quickly away from the scrum. Brian Dunn to tackle. Bateman trying to clear his lines, running crossfield. Hudson gone to act in half-back, brings it inside. Courtney goes in, does enough to hesitate, to hold his man. Wigan come in and complete the tackle. Hudson scoops it up one-handed, a good long pass, and Kenny's in very, very quickly, and Hunslet finding it very difficult to make any progress at all. Idle trying to come through, Case goes in to take him, and Wigan force him back. That's the 5th tackle. Ball's flung to Brown. Brown a little grubber kick, and he's managed to regain possession. Referee sends it back to 1, and it had bounced off Dunn, I think. Back in half-back, Idle trying to bring it through, grovelling his way, a couple of yards outside the 25 line. Bit of stuck at the moment as Hudson switches direction, whip back inside to Bateman. Bateman coming very well indeed, and he's followed from behind and put down by Dunn. Gray turning and twisting behind to play the ball, gained a lot of ground, driving into the Wigan half. They struggled hard to get there, but now they're in a good attacking position. Hudson again changes direction onto Graham. Graham trying to batter his way through, put down in the 5th tackle. Plays it to himself, gets it out to Hudson. Hudson over their heads. Gill is there to take it cleanly, running crossfield, straightening up, going out to the far wing, dummying. Has to die with the ball. Bounces up quickly for a quick play. Wigan clearing the lines, good strong run by Stevenson. Now Ferguson going to act in half-back. Gives it to Potter. Potter going round the narrow side of the field. Back inside. Onto Graham West. Striding down. Looking for support. Backs couldn't get up with him. Kiss. Out to Holden. Holden onto Kenny. Kenny a long intelligent pass to Edwards. Out to Gill. Gill coming inside. Running into the goal. He's still going strongly. Can't get rid of the ball. Knocks off another. Still battling his way through. And eventually 3 of them to take 3 of them to put him down. Led back to Whitfield, Whitfield to Holden, Holden to Edwards, Edwards a short one onto Dunn, Dunn well tackled by Byron. Kiss quickly out to Whitfield, Whitfield going to kick behind the defence, and it's rolling into Dunn. Picked his spot, dead accuracy, touch 5 yards from the Hunslet line. "23 minutes gone. Hunslet 12, Wigan 32 as we go back to the Hunslet line. King, scrum half, puts it in. Wigan have won one against the head. It goes out to Kenny. Kenny puts a grubber kick in, can't get to it, and it's kicked dead. And a dangerous little kick there, but Wigan just couldn't get through the massive Hunslet players. They'll drop out from underneath the Hunslet post. To Ferguson. Crowd love it when he has the ball. Gets it out to Stevenson. Stevenson coming inside very well. Jumping with it. Gets it back onto Edwards. Edwards dancing. Long pass to Kenny. Kenny holding it. Decides he's going to turn inside. Proving difficult. Kiss. Long one to Holding. Holding. Dunn can't take it. The referee said it's gone forward. "15 minutes to go, and nearly all the plays in and around the Hunslet 25. Wigan done well against the head this afternoon. Some good work gone on in that front row. Puts it in, shoots straight out the side. The referee lets it go. It's picked up by Standoff Murray. Well, that didn't come out behind and in between the second row. However, the referee's letting it go. So Hudson makes a strong run. King out to Murray. Murray handing it on to Bateman. Bateman trying to go through. Tackle low and hard by Graham West. Acting half-back trying to come through. 5 yards of ground gain. King, the long one, forwards again, bowing forward. Courtney wrapped him up so easily then, and that's the 5th tackle. And Brown kicks straight into touch. And we go back into the Hunslet half for the scrum. Holding to feed. Holding to Kenny. Kenny, long pass out to Edwards. Edwards' pass has been knocked down straight to Winfield. Edwards to Potter. Potter trying to dance it around to Gale. Gale going for the line. Tate hangs on to his legs. Hudson comes over to complete the tackle. Edwards to Holding. Penalised for an obstruction in the play of the ball. Wigan going to make a substitution. Ryan Case going to be brought off, and John Pendlebury going to be brought on. To give him a run, probably. Gray, the hooker, to take the tap penalty. Hudson just hands it down onto Bateman. Bateman tackled by Pendlebury and Potter. King coming over, moves it across onto Hudson. Hudson switching direction onto Gray. Gray turning back into the middle, probably wishes he had as he runs into Potter and Courtney. Brown trying to go through, managed to get his pass in. Ball's gone back and creating a gap. Idle coming strongly, well backed up by Graham. Graham an overhead pass which has been knocked on. Yes, it knocked on, couldn't take it cleanly. Well, it's surprising how that bad pass suddenly created a gap in the Wigan rank, because something happened which shouldn't have done. Ball's coming out the Wigan side. Holding manages to get it. All he can do is pick it up, but he's harassed by his opposite number. And back to Pendlebury. Pendlebury having a run, running a bit wide, followed and put down. Holding, gone to acting half-back. On to Graham West. West managed to get it out onto Ferguson, who was in the centre, onto Stevenson. Stevenson, powerful run. Great run by Stevenson. Beats the full-back beautifully. Well backed up by Kiss. Followed him up extremely well. That was good backing up by Kiss. First one to get up there with the centre. Comes out onto Edwards. Edwards, a long one to Kenny. Kenny slips one tackle, slips another tackle, gets it out onto Dunn. Dunn onto Gill. Gill coming inside. There's plenty of cover there for him to beat. Ducks under a tackle, lets the ball go, and it's lobbed back out onto Edwards. Edwards sidestepping his way through, managed to get his pass. It's gone astray, picked up by Pendlebury. Pendlebury regains possession, going for the line, going hard there, and eventually he's smothered. Goes out to Holden. Holden to Kenny. Kenny, a short one onto West. West is through, going for the line, back onto Holden, and Holden's over. Good into passing by Wigan to make it 36 points to 12, and it's all one-way traffic. Good training run this for Wigan now, moving the ball about. Whitfield calling for the sand. The trainer is on the field, realise that the sand bucket is needed. Entertaining stuff. And it's a small boy who has to bring it on. Ten minutes to go. Hunslet 12, Wigan 36. And he's still calling for sand. Crowd getting a bit restless, but the referee has stopped the clock. Electric scoreboard showing 68 minutes gone. So 12 minutes to go with the stoppage time. We've already had 2 minutes added on for injuries. Whitfield extend Wigan's lead. And he's pulled it, missed that one. Under 8 minutes to go then. On to Holden. Holden turning it inside to Ferguson. Ferguson coming down the middle. As Edwards with him, he's gone on his own, he's still going. And he has support, gets it to Holden, to Kenny. Has he got the legs? And the referee's given the try as he slides over. The scoreboard goes up to 36. I've got to try too many when the scoreboard has missed one, but I was already down as Wigan 36. The scoreboard has only just registered Wigan as 36, so I'd take the scoreboard because I'm sitting here in great gloom and it's very difficult to see the programme in front of me. That's another good try to Kenny, the long kick for Whitfield. Attention to a Hunslet player, game held up. Sitting in a box very high up on this Allen Road ground, and there are no lights in the box, so although the ground is brilliantly lit, we here are sitting in almost complete darkness, and I think 2 more substitutions are going to be made. Wolford is warming up, and this player looks badly hurt, this Hunslet player looking badly injured. Wolford is warming up, and Ford is warming up for Wigan. Perhaps going to give him a run out in the last few minutes. And Gill, I think, might be coming off. No, Ford has put his tracksuit top on again. Gill must be alright. As Tate is carried off, looking very badly hurt. Whitfield with a long kick to take. And it's a beauty! A fantastic kick! Wonderful kick that by Whitfield. And I was right, it's 42, the scoreboard was 4 points behind. Wigan 42. Scoreboard had missed a try. Whitfield puts that over, makes it 42 to Wigan. Brown tries a deep one. Potter coming strongly, tearing in up to the 25 line. Ryan Dunn trying to stride his way through, being held by the forwards. Forced down on his 25 line. Potter now charging into the forward try, nearly made the half break. Whitfield puts the kick through. Edwards following up, Van Stevenson. Hunslet coming out. Edwards goes across, it's well run by and it's Holding who goes into the tackle. To take Kay, ran that out very well. Rod the wingman trying to bring the ball away. Holding and Graham West into the tackle. Gray waiting for the play of the ball. Moves it across, Wolford turns it back inside to Graham. Graham takes by Kiss. And Kiss is going to be penalised. Fence on Graham, said he put an elbow into him. And touch is found just short of the halfway line. Gray moves it across, Wolford hands it on, Byron turning it inside onto Idle. He's managed to regain possession, juggled with the ball there, Kissing after it, can't get it this time. As Idle plays the ball back to Gray, Gray darting through from acting halfback, Potter and Dunn down him. Wolford gone to acting halfback, was a long pass to Hudson. Oh, beautiful break by the scrum half by King, coming inside, running very well. And that pass is yards forward. A little bit of obstruction, I thought, as Ferguson managed to get the ball. They pulled at him, he's not getting up from that very well. That's a bad blow to Wigan in the dying minutes. Probably needed him for Boxing Day. Wigan trying to get up to the 25 line. To Pendlebury. Pendlebury decided he's going to take them on his own, clears the 25 line. Holding to Potter. Potter trying to come through, taken well round the ankles. Holding to Kenny. Kenny hands it on. Wigan fall into the tackle. Ford has come on in place of Gale. Whitfield lifts it high in the air to Kay. Kay takes it well and cleanly. Dunn's in to put him down. Edwards has come out onto the wing as it goes to Bateman. Bateman coming hard and strong. Kiss hanging on to him. Came in very powerfully to Bateman. King, who's had a good game, moves it out to Hudson. Hudson switched it back inside to Wolford. Wolford a short one to Gray. Gray well backed up by Wolford. Lobs a high one. Comes on to Rod. Rod going inside, trying to battle his way to the line. Wigan holding them out. Hunslet still trying to get points on the board as it goes to Wolford. Wolford on to Bateman. Bateman going crashing through, slips the ball, it's on the floor. Kick through, on to Ford. Ford running it out. Dummying, a long pass, out to the wing. Wigan going strongly down the wing now, but a forced into touch just outside their own 25. And the scrum half has been named man of the match. Graham King, the Hunslet scrum half, has been named as the Hunslet man of the match. Right on time now, we're just playing into the last minutes of injury time. Hudson's gone to scrum half. Falls on the ball, side of the scrum. Wolford holding it, turning it back inside, still dumming, still on his feet, gets his pass in. Brown coming strongly on to King, King being taken by Kenny. Hodgson behind to play the ball, out to Graham, Graham on to Wolford. Wolford holding his pass, times it nicely on to Kay, who's linked up, put down by Ford and Whitfield. Gray going through from acting half-back, stumbles a yard short of the line. King behind to play the ball. Out onto Graham. Graham's upended. Fifth tackle. Wolford dummying. A long one out to Brown. Brown out to the wing man. He's in at the corner. Runner scored. Make it 16. Hunslet 16. Wigan 42. Wigan defence wilted. Brown with a long kick to take. And that's not a bad effort, just pulled across the space of the post. So Hunslet have stuck determinedly to the task, just not up to the talent and the ability that Wigan have shown today. Hunslet 16, Wigan 42. That's Colin Whitfield. Tries a deep one. And it's a good kick. Ball bounced in the in-goal area and over the dead ball line, so it's a drop out from underneath the Hunslet post. We had quite a long stoppage time when Tate was injured, so perhaps a few minutes to go yet. As the hooker, Gray, hands it on to Brown for the dropout. Tries a deep one to Ford. Ford running up to the 25 line, trying to come down the middle, runs into trouble. To Pendlebury. Pendlebury sidestepping inside, made the break, looking for support, gets it to Graham West. We didn't have very much room to move in. Kiss to Holden. Kenny lost one over the line, being chased by Ford. It's going to go dead. Gray, the hooker, looking injured, so it'll be a tap from the 25. Wolford, short pass, forward battering the way in. Wolford, long pass to Brown. Brown switches inside, ball's gone astray and back to Hunslet. Ball still loose and it's been dropped again. Referee says play on. as Graham dumbing, trying to come through. Wigan hanging on to him and having a job putting him down. Did strong run by Graham, put down right in the middle of the field. Back to one. Oh dear, he lost his temper a little bit there, so it's a penalty to Wigan. Took a bit of a swipe, wasn't happy with what was going on in the tackle. Whitfield going to kick for goal. I think he's asking for the sand. Right in the middle of the field. Well, I don't know how many goals he's kicked this afternoon, but he's kicked an awful lot. The clock showing 82 minutes played. Perhaps hoping to increase his personal tally. These are the sorts of games where you can get a lot of points. Whitfield back inside his own half as he takes his run up. Wide, I think. Wide of the target. Hunslet running it out. Courtney sticks one hand out, swings his man round. Wolford moving it across, Courtney in again. This time he doesn't manage to get on. It's Kiss who has to come in, help with Dunn to put him down. Gray moving it across the line. Hudson a nice backflip inside, Bateman keeping it moving. Spotted by Pendlebury, who came in very quickly. Gray coming through from acting half-back, John Pendlebury following him. And a good run by Gray, the hooker. Eventually he's rolled over. Wolford moves it across. Short one. Good run here by Hunslet, still coming strong. And it's been intercepted by Kenny. Can he make the line? Oh, great try from the halfway line underneath the post. Snapped that one out of the air. To make it now, Wigan 46. Well, Kenny spotted that one well. He shot into the line and snatched it out of the air. Crowd loved that one. That's going to be. Easy kick for Whitfield. And it goes over in the middle. And the scoreboard registers 48 points as the whistle goes for full time. A very entertaining game. Hunslet contributed to it very largely. They played good football, they played hard football. Wigan had just that little bit of extra talent, and so the players go off with a final score according to the scoreboard. Hunslet 16, Wigan 48. This is your commentator John McDermott, hoping you've enjoyed watching this film made by your cameraman Brian Worthington.